Hey, welcome back to Tuesday. Let's talk about some upcoming streams.
Yes. So, first, do you want to talk about the DOA?
Oh, yeah,
stuff?
sure.
You aren't following the script here, David.
Yeah.
I have the script.
You're right. It's right there. It's right here. Let's talk about Dead or Alive.
No,
yeah. What's going on, James?
No, it's really cool. So, obviously Capcom did this cool Capcom Pro Tour thing last year, right?
Yeah.
And then this year, I know they talked about how like UltraChen was going to help with a KI thing this coming year. I haven't heard any more details about that, but a lot of companies are getting involved in this now, and the most recent one now is Team Ninja, makers of Dead or Alive, and they're actually doing a year-long event for Dead or Alive 5 Last Round. Called the Battle Royal 2015, not the Battle Royale. There's a distinct E missing from it, even from the poster.
Yeah,
so I think it's the
official.
Battle Royal 2015. So this is going to be an event that's going to last all year long, and apparently they're giving out like $8,000 worth of prizes. It looks like here. Yeah, $8,000.
So it'll be at, let's see, a bunch of events, right?
Yeah.
Winter Brawl, Final Round, NCR, SCR. ECT, EVO, Summer Jam, TFC, Absolute Battle, Guts, Paradise.
And then
NEC.
The grand finals are going to be at NEC.
Actually, didn't something similar happen? Maybe not the same thing, but something similar the past year. Because there was some culmination of something at TFC.
Yeah. But this one, it looks like they're going all year long, and it looks like the prize pool is going to be a little bit bigger. And it looks like if you win at TFC, so the championships was in TFC last time.
Yeah.
But it looks like this time, if you win at TFC, you get automatic flight sponsorship to NEC.
Oh, dang.
So, I mean, I don't know. Well, let's see. It also says here that at Winter Brawl, at Final Round, at SoCal Regionals, you also get player sponsorship to the grand finals. I see. Okay. So there's basically qualification events and ranking events, premier events and ranking events. So the premier events, just like Capcom Pro Tour, right, are Winter Brawl, Final Round, SoCal Regionals, and TFC. And then the ranking events, basically where you just get points, are NCR, ECT, EVO, Summer Jam, Absolute Battle, and Guts, and Paradise. Yeah, and Paradise. So those are the ranking events. But apparently if you win Paradise, you also get official qualifier for Final Round 19. But that's the event that Shin Blanca and all those guys are throwing in the U.S. in California.
Right. Yeah, that's in San Diego.
Yeah, I believe so.
Right.
Yeah. The Town and Country Resort and Convention Center in San Diego.
Well, look, it's very cool. I'm really happy to see this. It's something that I would love to see more from more publishers or developers, whichever. It's a great idea. It was helpful in drumming up support or interest in Street Fighter 4. I mean, SF4 has, I guess, more than most, but just to start with. But I feel like Capcom Cup did a good job at keeping that going, or even increasing it to some degree. So I hope that the same thing would be true for the Battle Royal.
Yeah, and
it's a good idea.
And seriously, shout outs to guys like to Big E and Shin Blanca, because they've been supporting the game for a long time. You know, they're always supporting Dead or Alive and stuff, always helping Tecmo and Team Ninja and stuff like that for promoting Dead or Alive. So, you know, hopefully this will bring up a lot more interest, because I mean, honestly, people just need to play it. Like, obviously a lot of people, you know, will bash on games when they haven't even touched the games yet and stuff like that. So hopefully, you know, some people will actually give Dead or Alive a shot, try to play this out, and, you know, you can get really good, and if you score all these points or win one of these events, you can fly out to NEC and maybe win a big chunk of that 8,000 prize pool. So
it's a really good idea. I'm really happy to hear it.
Yeah, I'm glad they're doing it. More companies need to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, more groups need to do that.
Yeah.
So
good work. Okay. Now, do you want to talk about streams? Did I get that right?
Yeah. We can talk about streams now. So it's
Excellent.
DOA5/streams.
Excellent.
Okay. Yeah.
Nailed.
Okay. Good stuff. Do you know what streams we're talking about?
Let's talk about one that'll be happening tomorrow.
The
one that'll be happening tomorrow, which is Wednesday, will be an announcement. Wait, is that tomorrow? Or are they doing it tomorrow?
I believe
I was just assuming it was
yeah.
Wednesday, but maybe it's not.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
at
excellent.
noon tomorrow. At noon
Score.
tomorrow. Yes.
All right, I'm back on. I can't even think of a good way to finish that sentence. God, look, James.
So tomorrow, Alex Vai just recently tweeted that he is going to do a big Wednesday Night Fights 2015 reveal stream tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is noon here on the West Coast, so 3 o'clock for you guys on the East Coast. And that is for, and he's going to be talking about what is in store for Wednesday Night Fights in 2015. And he is going to have special guest Mr. Mike Ross joining him for this broadcast. So definitely tune in for that. I know Vi's got some cool plans going on for this for Wednesday Night Fights for this year. So
it is the online edition. You know, it says in the little graphic there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think everybody's interested in how he'll be doing the online version. It hasn't been online in the past. You know, he has been running these online tournaments for a little while now. That's not a new thing, but I think that's mostly testing for how this is going to go.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see, you know, how it'll be, how many players.
It's really cool because honestly, the weekly tournament events really serves such a small percentage of people around the country.
Oh yeah. Something like Wednesday Night Fights at Super Arcade, great for locals, but really just something to watch for everybody else.
Right, and you know, Vi has told me that ever since he's kind of talked about potentially doing Wednesday Night Fights online, a lot of people have talked to him, had a lot of interest. So I definitely think that this could potentially be huge. This could potentially be huge. So yeah, so it'll be really cool. Again, that's on twitch.tv/leveluplive at 12 p.m. noon tomorrow. Check that out. He's going to have special guest, that Mike Ross guy, a.k.a. Mike Miguel P. Rossington, as he likes to call himself. Ross.
As he likes to call himself, yes. Mm-hmm. That's his favorite.
Yeah, so check that out.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. And then on Thursday is something I'm really looking forward to, which is going to be a stream on Mortal Kombat X. You know, NetherRealms has been doing a couple of streams lately. It's something that they've said they're going to do more often before the game comes out in April. So not really that much time. It's
true.
It's really not.
Think about
and
that.
if you look at the character select screen, there are still quite a few empty spaces.
Okay.
So they're going to have to do, you know, pretty quick reveals, I think, unless they're trying to keep something secret for when the game comes out. So this thing on Thursday is going to be Katana versus Reptile.
Right.
And with characters who we knew were in the game, but that we haven't seen in like this kind of a breakdown. Last week we knew the Reptile was already in there. We knew they were both in there, or whenever they last had their stream. We knew that they were both in there already, but they couldn't pick those characters.
Okay.
So they were like on the character select screen. They couldn't pick them. Okay. So this time we're going to get to see a little bit more. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that because, you know, whenever we bring up this game, I talk about how they've taken characters that have not been interesting, at least to me in the past, and they've made all of the characters interesting so far. It's very rare that I think all of the characters in the game are interesting. Very rare. But
you're just talking about like mechanically and stuff like that, like
yeah,
game
not how they
mechanics.
look. Yeah, for sure.
Because
they all look stupid.
I always have the comment that Mortal Kombat, I feel like they need to make their characters kind of like not lovable because you're just going to be dismembering them.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Did you watch that Conan Clueless Gamer thing?
Actually, I did not.
They did a scene with Clueless Gamer and they showed some of the fatalities, and dude, some of those are brutal. Like, I mean, I imagine he literally chops like the front of the guy's face off. Okay. Like, and you just see like the brains and stuff like coming out and like splitting people in it. There was some pretty gruesome. I mean, in
MK9 they had like rip in half.
Yeah. But now they have all the
throwing attack with the saw.
But they have all the internal organs like mapped out now.
In there.
Yeah, so it's pretty gruesome. So
yeah, I could really do without that stuff.
Let's go for that zombie mode or the bloodless mode again.
Right. Look, it's not in my opinion at least. It is not a terribly pretty game. I've thought that about all of the. I thought MK9 and Justice same way. Even when some of the character models I thought were cool. Bane I think is cool looking, for example.
Okay. All right.
But his movement is janky and it's just like it's drab. You know, it's very drab, very like dark and drab. And it's the same way. And somebody posted up a picture on Reddit of one of the characters. I think it might be Katana with her face. Her face is, you know, kind of funky.
Well, the Injustice was not known for their female faces.
I just think it's such a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
it really is. Because there are going to be people who, as with Injustice, look at it and they see that it's basically in grayscale.
Yeah,
there's basically no song, there's no music, and they think, "Oh, this game is boring."
Well, I mean,
pass it up, and it's such a fun, good game, but it's so boring looking. I hope that won't happen with MKX.
The graphics are falling into that same pattern again, where everything is dark and drab and everything like that. And even when you look at MK1, there was a lot of backgrounds that took place in the daytime. You know, like Shao Kahn's court stuff, you know, you could actually see, like, it was daytime.
Yep, that's true.
Shang Tsung's court, I should say. And, like, even on the bridge, when they fought on the bridge, I believe it was daytime in the original game. And then in MK2, they turned it into nighttime. And then from then on, everything has just been nighttime ever since. So, I don't know, like... it would be cool if they actually did Mortal Kombat. Like, what if they just did, like, the beach, like, from the movie? You know, when Kano and Sonya fought each other?
That's real? Yeah, that was a thing.
Just put it on the beach or something. Like, I don't know. I would like to see it more colorful, you know, and then also, God, please make the music good. Please make the sound effects good.
It's not going to happen. The sound effects are, I think, the same. It sounds like it, anyway. Well, I think the animation is a lot better. Right, I don't know if you've watched much of it, but the animation I think looks nicer. So that's nice. And if you like that style, that like sort of dark style, and it makes sense with considering the game because you're killing people. But if you like that style, then I can see you thinking it's really beautiful.
Right.
But I think that turns a lot of people off, and the more I see of it, the more I think it's going to be the same thing as Injustice, where it's this really awesome game, and so many people are not going to know about that because they're just not going to be interested enough to try.
Fortunately, Mortal Kombat has a strong reputation already behind it in terms of fighting.
As far as I'm sure it will be picked up casually. I'm sure it'll sell well and stuff.
The
question is will competitive players be interested in that? And it's kind of a little strange to me, but I know this is the case, that a lot of even competitive players really care about how the game looks. Yeah.
Also, the one cool thing to me is just that, did you see all the one-player content that they were talking about? Yeah. Choosing like the factions and all that stuff. They had all the towers and all these different one-player content. I think that's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Because that'll help people get in the game, for sure. Because the problem with a game like, let's say Street Fighter 4, right? Let's say you get Street Fighter 4. And you don't want to jump online because you don't want to play people. What do you have to do? Nothing. There's nothing to do.
Play arcade mode, then that's it, right?
I even just told the story just recently. I turned Guilty Gear's training dummy Soul to CPU.
Okay.
Just so I could just practice Sin and mess around and see how the thing flows. And dude, he was just Mr. Random Special Move. It was like the biggest waste of my time. Like, I could learn nothing fighting him because eventually you're just like... whatever is going to go fireball, bandit revolver, whatever, it's just like, it didn't matter, So the fact that Mortal Kombat is putting all these things in there, putting this little cool faction thing to kind of get you involved on the online and all the stuff like that.
It's a really good idea.
I really like what they're doing with that, and I hope it brings a lot of people in there. And then, again, I also hope that they do a lot of stuff where they, like League of Legends, how like when you start the title screen, it'd be like, event this weekend, check out this tournament, kind of stuff. So
that would be really nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Really, really nice. Mm-hmm. So that is twitch.tv/NetherRealm Studios, I think.
Is it the whole thing, NetherRealm Studios?
Yeah, I'm going to verify that right now. I believe so.
Are they saying that we're freezing again, or they're saying we look like claymation?
Yeah, I assume we're just on podcast status.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's just NetherRealm. NetherRealm.
Okay. Twitch.
It's not actually NetherRealms. We just say that.
Really?
It's NetherRealm.
They're just NetherRealm Studios?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Anyway, that's twitch.tv/NetherRealm.
Okay.
On Thursday.
On Friday, there's another stream. And again, these are the American companies, so no shock to me that it's happening right now. But Iron Galaxy Studios is going to be doing a Killer Instinct stream. They're going to be revealing a lot more about their new character, Aganos, I think is his name, which is the big giant stone guy who's like at least 1.5 times as tall as like Chief Thunder, and Chief Thunder is like huge already.
Right.
So I mean, it's really interesting. Can people jump over him, I wonder?
That's a good question, because I mean so we know a little bit about him. And that's that he like causes walls behind the opponent if he has some resource.
Right.
It would be very interesting if you could not jump over him either, or maybe maybe Sadira can
jump
over him.
He should be able to build a giant hat. And so you can't jump over him. He'd be like, what?
That would be like a really silly way.
Try to cross me up.
Just wears a dunce cap. It's really tall.
No, but I mean, it sounds really cool because just a character that will build. Like, what if he actually could build walls that made it so you couldn't jump? Like, what if he built the ceiling and like all of a sudden you couldn't jump for a short period of time or something like that? We don't know the details yet, but that's what the stream on Friday is going to be. They're going to show a lot more of this, and then also I think they said if they get to a certain number of stream viewers or something like that, they're going to show off a new stage fatality for Aghanos or something.
I believe that was 4,000 viewers.
It was 4,000 viewers, yeah. So if they can get to 4,000 viewers. But again, shout outs to, it was Iron Galaxy Studios for doing this kind of stuff, and NetherRealm Studios, NetherRealm Studios, and all these companies for doing that. I mean, I did say it was American companies, but let's be fair. Namco, Harada is doing an awesome job with that as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. As far as KI goes, even as I continue to not be interested in it because of the combo system, the character designs are really some of the most unique in any fighting game.
It would be cool if
interesting.
It would be really cool if they just made Aghanos like not even bother with that.
That would be fantastic.
Except
if I could get into the game like that. Well, I'd still have to play when other people are comboing.
The other problem is that you'll never be able to not play the game from getting comboed side. You'd still have to play that. Yeah. So, yeah. But actually, now that I just brought it up, we should probably also mention that we should talk a little bit about Xrd, and they've been talking a little bit about the patches. There's a new version that's out in, I think, 1.1 version, so they've been load testing it. And, there's been some changes in there. Like, some characters, like Ramlethal, apparently just got nerfed to hell. Like, just really bad, yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
And actually, we could probably talk about this because someone sent us a question kind of on this subject.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so we could probably just talk about this right now.
Sure.
Let me read the question and then we'll go back to it. But basically, Matthias asked us, Arxis is running location tests right now for Xrd. And people are reporting that Ramlethal is really bad now, right? So Ogawa, for example, has said that he thinks that that Zato 1 is going to be really bad now.
Really? They finally made Zato Eddie bad?
Yeah, exactly. Like they said that he's almost Slash level again because apparently he was terrible in Slash.
Was he actually terrible in that game?
He wasn't great. He wasn't top tier. Like, for once, he wasn't one of the best characters in the game.
Okay.
Right? But he does like the fact that people are balancing the games, but he just feels like that Arxis is really bad at it. So he says like they overdo the characters a lot of the times. Like, I guess Kokonoe is really bad now or something like that, or is she just like not as effective?
Really? She's definitely not as good.
Okay, but he's. Like Rachel, for example, got really bad in one of the games and stuff like that. So they seem to overdo it all the time. They always seem to either be like, if the character's terrible, all of a sudden they become too good. Right. And if they're really good, they just become worthless. So, what he basically asked, what do we think about the way that Arxis tends to balance the games? And, dude.
What do you think?
They're bad. They're not very good at it. Okay. They're not very good at it, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, for example, like Potemkin, right? He was bad. I still feel like he's bad. Like, they just didn't do anything for him. So, right?
the Flame Pillar, right?
Yeah.
In load tests so far, has that been useful? That people have been doing it?
I don't know. I don't think anyone's been using it at all. So,
because when I first thought about it, I was wondering if you could just do like Flame Pillar, YRC, and then pressure, and now you have like a wall basically,
right,
and which would be nice.
I think it'll work, but for meaty pressure. So if you knock him down and get right next to him, you can do Flame Pillar and then YRC. That'll probably be pretty useful, but I just don't know if that's enough for him, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But yeah, like Ramlethal lost a lot of her dust combos in the corner. She could just do like these dust loops and stuff like that, which apparently are all gone now and stuff. So, but this is only the first load test. So apparently there's going to be a second load test coming up where they do some other change. Like, they made one change to Sin that I just saw, and I was like, there's no way you can leave this in there.
Is it too good?
Yeah, it was too good. Basically, he has a DP move that if he hits you with it, it causes this ridiculously long hit stun in the air so that you could do these crazy long combos. And everyone says about Sin is he hits like a truck. You lose a crap ton of damage. Except the problem with this uppercut move is you had to hit point blank. If you hit it from a little further away, as a juggle, it would be this weak hit and they would flip out of it right away. So it had to be right next to them, right? So the change they made in the Logue test is no matter what distance you hit him out of the air with this move, it does the massive reel. And I just saw that, I was like, dude, like I have to Roman cancel so many things to get my 200, 300 damage.
Yeah.
And now with this, I don't even need a Roman cancel anymore.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, this sounds a little too good. So.
Well, I wonder. This is something that I thought about when I was into BlazBlue.
Uh-huh.
What's their goal? Is it balance in like the way that we understand balance? That is to say, like each character has a viable chance of winning or not.
Right. Uh-huh.
I've never been sure that that's their goal. I mean, really, like maybe their goal is just like, let's switch it up. Like this time, this character is good, or this character is bad, or like let's make sure that we have a terrible character in there so it's balanced because there's really good and really bad.
Pre-Evo, I 100% believe that because of the story of the BlazBlue creator laughing at Barker Dave getting destroyed, right? But after Evo, what he saw, hopefully it's different. Now, Guilty Gear, of course, is a different team balancing it. But, you know, hopefully they will do some stuff. I mean, because there's some controversial changes in there right now.
Are there?
So, right now, you know, Blitz Shield is their parrying system, right? If you Blitz Shield a projectile right now, basically you get to recover right away, and you get... So it costs a fourth of your bar to Blitz Shield. If you Blitz Shield a projectile, you get half of it back. So you only spend an eighth of your bar to do a Blitz Shield. But that was just so you can get past it, right? Now, apparently, if the opponent is right next to you and you Blitz Shield a projectile, it can cause them to go into that parry stun. So what some people are saying is like this might actually destroy some characters like Venom, who throws the ball at you and chases you so that as soon as you get up, he's right next to you. And if you Blitz Shield it, you might get repelled. And not only that, but apparently they increased the buffer timings of certain special moves and for Blitz Shield, so they're easier to do on Wake Up, so it's easier to reversal now and stuff like that. So some people are saying that
sounds crappy.
That projectile Blitz Shield thing might not stay, they're saying. So
well, it's good to hear that they're still working on it.
And it's actually kind of neat to hear that they're experimenting.
That's true.
That they're really willing to try out some crazy stuff. But
well, I think that often happens in balance testing, right?
Oh, and they also changed it to, which is probably good, that if you're in burst, then it's always a red Roman cancel. Because you remember the option select? If you have 1/4 of your bar, you know how you could hit them and just Roman cancel everything. If they burst, you save yourself.
Right.
Now it won't happen anymore because now if they're in burst, it counts as 2 bar, so you can't do it. So they're fixing some good stuff.
Okay.
You know, but we'll see. I'm kind of excited about this.
All right.
Okay, cool. So, do you want to take a break before we talk about some more stuff? Or?
Sure.
Okay, cool. We will be right back, guys.
Okay, welcome back to the Tuesday show. Let's talk about some upcoming events now.
Yep, or even some that have just finished as well.
As well as some that have just finished, indeed.
So, but we do want to... Oh, actually, there was another event that I think we should have talked about that I forgot to mention there. Oh, we'll get to it in a second. But, so the CAN... What does it stand for again?
The CAN Winter Clash.
The CAN Winter Clash. We are so professional. We are on point today.
Somebody in the chat is saying, like, David, get some sleep. I am worried about you.
We are so on point today. This is amazing.
It's true. I've had 2 straight days of like 4 hours sleep. It's just been circumstance. Like, so Sunday night or some night, I stayed up to watch Shadowloo. And then the next morning, they were doing work outside my window. And then the night after that, I had to stay up late doing work. And then I had somebody texted me really early in the morning. It's just, whatever. I'll get sleep tonight.
Okay, so apparently it's also the Con Winter Clash.
Oh, come on. Whatever.
But the qualifier happened at NLBC earlier this weekend. And obviously a lot of the New York players were there. And that one came down to grand finals between Dominion and Smug.
Yeah.
And apparently, it looked like Sanford got 3rd place.
I believe that's true.
Yeah, and it came down to Dominion in winners bracket and Smug in losers bracket. And despite having at least 2 or 3 tournament points for Dominion, Smug actually came back 2 sets and won it.
And barely won it.
Barely.
He was very surprised. I think by his reaction. He was like, how did the hell that happen?
But yeah,
it was really good. Really good.
Oh, that grand final was amazing. Yeah, there was that one round where it was literally like Dudley did towards Fierce, then Guile did Fierce, and then Dudley did towards Fierce, and then Guile did Fierce.
They were just like, boxing, right?
Yeah, it was like, because we always talk about how Guile Fierce is like one of those moves that just looks so satisfying when you connect it. That whole segment was just like, oof, oof.
Yeah.
Oof, like that whole time, dude.
For sure.
But Smug qualified.
Smug got it, yeah.
So he's going to France.
Right.
And I mean, obviously he's been to Canada, so we know he has his passport and everything like that, which is important to him. And honestly, guys, he's still not sponsored. He is still not sponsored. Someone needs to get in on that.
Somebody should.
Obviously, he's a part of Team Pi, right?
Yeah.
But nobody on Team Pi, everybody on Team Pi wants Smug to get sponsored.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because this guy's got to start traveling to a lot more events, and if he doesn't stop playing this game, he's going to be here for a very long time.
Oh yeah, he'll be competitive in whatever he wants for how long he wants.
Yeah.
Basically.
So, dude, this guy needs to get picked up.
Yeah, he's really, really good.
Yeah.
Very young. Really good.
But yeah, speaking of pseudo-sponsored players, this con Winter Clash, why do I keep wanting to calling it a Winter Festival? Because every time I think of con, I think of film. Festival. Right, yeah, exactly. But so our Kappa, as you guys have known, have flown Pepidai all sorts of places all around the world to all these different events. Well, right now, they're trying to fly 2 players out to the Con Winter Clash, but this time they're trying to get Infiltration and Punko out there.
Correct.
So apparently, our Kappa has had enough of Japanese players. They're supporting Korea now.
Yeah.
Something.
I don't know, but that's really cool. They so far have, let's see, so FGC Dr. Mike is the one who posted this. It's a sticky on our Kappa, if you're interested in checking it out. The update is that they have $272 from Teespring and 1,066 from UCare, and air flights in total are 1,682, hotel stay 342. So we're talking about a couple $1,000 in total, and they have what, $1,200 to $1,300 so far.
Right.
So they're most of the way there, and I'm sure that that's already something that those players would really appreciate.
Right. And we should probably mention the Con Winter Clash is in France, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, it is in France. So. Yeah, so obviously not going to be cheap to fly them out there. But
No.
those are the 2 players that they want to sponsor out to this event. So if you guys want to help and see Infiltration and Punko out to this event, you can definitely check out reddit.com/r/Kappa.
Correct.
And it's sticky, so it should be right there at the top.
It's odd to me, I think, that Infiltration doesn't have a more significant sponsor. He did have a sponsor for some time.
Right, Gem. He was under Gem for a little
But even
bit.
before that, he was with WW.
Yeah, it was like the Western Wolves. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he left or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought at the time that he left on purpose and that he hasn't had a sponsor purposely. I don't know.
Right.
Gem isn't a sponsor. It's it's a group, or it was a group anyway, that looks out for advertising and sponsorship opportunities. It's more like an agent.
So so you think he joined there specifically to get
to try to get
a sponsor, but then I guess Gem, did they go under or something, or is Gem no longer?
Oh, they were bought by somebody, and in general, they just have not been useful. Like I've had some dealings with them professionally.
Oh, okay.
Not the best. Okay. So it was a little disappointing.
So even not in the world of cross-tech, and gems aren't very useful.
Oh, man. How long have you been stewing on that?
For about 10 seconds there.
Okay, all right, nice. Good job.
It came to my head at one point in time, so I was just like, I got to get this
Nicely
in there.
done. Nicely
So.
done. But yeah, if you're interested in that, if you're interested in helping one of those 2 or both of those players, get to France where they'll be able to play against, I guess, Smug. Hey, that would be so cool to be able to see Smug versus Punko, Smug versus Infiltration.
I mean, it's kind of
European players versus them.
Because I saw on Twitter, I think it was Justin and Noel Brown were saying that they felt like Smug was the best player in the United States right now.
Right.
And I personally don't think that. right? I think PR Rog's the best player in the United States right now because PR Rog, I mean, he got the farthest at Capcom Cup, and then in Canada he did really well. He qualified, did really well. I still put Snake Eyes above Smug, just because he's done really well at Evo and such like that, right? But Smug is number 3, and he's right there, and he's right there. But the reason why I don't have Smug there is because I just don't feel he's traveled as much as some of these other guys have now. If he can travel, because I mean, he's gone to a lot of East Coast tournaments, but he beats up on like the same people, like up and down the coast,
and good players. But you're right, it's the same players over and over. Yeah.
So like I said, I mean, the fact that I have him ranked 3rd, it's like by those tiniest of margins. He's right up there, but if I could see him go to a tournament where he fights a bunch of people that he has no idea how to fight, like what they're going to bring and stuff like that, and he starts beating up everyone there, that's all I need for the straw to break the camel's back, pretty much. So
I'm not sure I haven't thought about my top whatever anymore, but I actually might have Knuckle Dew ahead of a couple of those guys.
Yeah, actually, that's probably true.
Might have Knuckle Dew ahead.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. That's a good call. Now that you mention it, I forgot about Knuckle Dew, but I don't know why I forgot about him because he's been doing amazing right now.
Yeah.
So good call. Okay. Dang.
Well,
so much for my emphatic declarations of of ranking.
Yeah.
And this is the guy who didn't have Momochi in his top 10 on the world rankings that one time.
Look, I don't think I did either, or maybe if I did, he was like number 10. But it was just because he wasn't playing. I knew. Would I have called him number 1? I don't know, but the only reason he wasn't on my list is because he hadn't been playing that often.
Right.
Which I think was reasonable, and I think it was the same for you. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, you want to move on?
Sure. Okay. So here, let's do this. So let's talk a little bit about Smash 4. And a couple of things about Smash 4.
Oh, wait, do you want to talk about CPT first?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
No, you're the one who got it wrong.
I could have swore. Oh, we started with the con stuff first. Okay,
Indeed.
See, that was because you threw it off by going there first.
No, not at all. I said let's talk about some upcoming stuff.
Oh, then I said
and then
maybe
you were
some
like
previous,
maybe some previous stuff, and I was like, now everybody's gonna think that I got the order wrong.
Fair enough. Okay, you're right. That was my fault. That was my bad this time. So.
That's cool. It's not been the best night for you.
We should call this today's show the Herp Derp Show or something.
You got it. That'll be YouTube.
Okay. So we don't know anything about Capcom Pro Tour. They haven't announced anything officially. Or
only the
like
$500,000 thing, which they announced at Capcom Cup.
Right. So we don't know anything about what's going on. However, apparently some information is accidentally sneaking out, mostly from events themselves.
Yeah.
So I guess just recently, NorCal Regionals announced that they're going to be part of CPT. So they're going to be part of the Capcom Pro Tour 2015. They haven't said whether they're going to be a premier event like they were last year, or if they're going to be one, or just a ranking event. But apparently they're part of the Capcom Pro Tour. I mean,
sounds right. I mean,
no shock there.
Could have been a good guess, yeah.
Right. Northwest Majors, which was not on any of the they weren't even a ranking event last year.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken.
You might be right.
They apparently announced on their site that they were going to be a ranking event or something. But then that information disappeared.
Oh yeah.
So
okay,
according to Sharukin here, apparently the news that they were part of that came out and then just disappeared. So. But then
that makes sense.
The most interesting one, though, is that it took until the end of the year, the end of Capcom Pro Tour, to get a lot of Asian tournaments involved. And at first, it was there's a dearth of qualifiers and ranking events in Asia.
Yeah.
Right. But apparently, there's going to be a tournament hosted by Arcade Stream in Korea. And apparently, they just released the trailer and they announced that they're going to be part of the Capcom Pro Tour. And so they're going to have an Ultra Street Fighter 4 tournament there. Apparently Guilty Gear Xrd is going to be there as well. So I imagine it's going to be all sorts of fighting games in there. But it's nice to see that that's happening there.
For sure.
So obviously there's lots of little information leaking out here and there.
Hopefully at some point, not in the too distant future, we'll get more info. Because it's starting to get pretty close to big tournament season. Right.
Last year it started at Final Round. And Final Round is next month.
Yeah, you're right. It's not far off.
So, I mean, I hope they announce something soon. I mean, I even wonder, do you think maybe that's why SER moved from February to like May, maybe, just to make sure they could get in the season or something?
That's a great question.
Who knows?
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense, though.
Dude, we're just spreading rumors all
I know,
over. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, it's hopefully we start getting some news. I mean, we would like some news too, frankly.
That's true.
I want to know what I'm going to.
Yeah.
But
assuming that you're part of it, eh?
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Yeah. Fair enough. But you know, if we can get it, hopefully they'll start announcing some information and stuff like that. So
yeah, and
we'll get some new news about Capcom Pro Tour because I can't wait. It's going to be some cool stuff. So okay, now we can move on to some Smash 4 stuff.
Let's talk about Smash 4 stuff.
Okay. So Smash 4, a couple of things. Apparently the DS just had a patch recently.
Yeah.
Now when the patch came out, specifically was designed to create amiibo support.
Right.
For the new 3DS XL or whatever that actually has the amiibo support on there. But apparently a couple of balance changes got thrown in there as well.
Right, yeah.
And not a bunch of huge ones, but like maybe some more egregious, like glitchy kind of things that were in there.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of glitchiness.
Yeah, there was like something like, for example, Kirby could stall in the air shooting arrows, and apparently that's gone.
Right.
Now there were rumors that Link's pseudo infinite, the little jab infinite, was removed, but apparently someone just released a video that it's sure enough is still in there, so you can still do that.
Okay. But not like major changes.
Right. Yeah. So nothing huge.
Right.
So I'm just wondering, I don't know, because like Sakurai said that there was going to be no more patches or whatever, but I'm hoping that that's not true.
I also hope that's not true. I hope
that's not true, because I hope Nintendo really saw what happened with Apex. I mean, they got a lot of good press.
I think so.
Off of that,
so.
Right? I mean, Red Bull had that little article about, because obviously they helped out a little bit. But they had an article on their webpage, on the Red Bull Esports page, right? Talking about that. Oh, that's right. Okay. But yeah, sorry, I just want to bring something up later on. But, but Smash 4, I mean, Nintendo, they should try to keep the game balanced a little bit. And
totally, man. I hope it... If they do it, if they make something significant, I hope that they'll give the game some time to breathe.
Yeah.
Because so far, everybody's talking about a couple of characters as being too good, but the results haven't really shown that yet in tournament.
Diddy Kong is the closest.
Right, yeah, but even without, remember, the top 8 at Apex was not nearly as Diddy heavy as a lot of people predicted.
Someone actually released a really cool infographic. I
saw it too.
And like... The top 48, I think it was, of Smash Wii U was like 20-some different characters or something. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So that was actually really cool to see.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully that they'll, like I said, keep supporting the scene and keep doing a bunch.
I hope so. I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah, I know.
I wouldn't
unfortunately,
bet on it, but it would be really nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, then what's the other issue?
The other thing that's going on now is that rules for EVO. So obviously at Apex, one of the worries was that Smash 4 the top 8 was kind of long, right? Yeah. And so if there's going to be 2 Smash games at EVO, Melee went kind of long last year as well. So there's some concerns about having both Smash games taking up some time. Okay. So Wizard kind of tweeted out some stuff like maybe we should do like 2 stocks, 5 minutes or something like that. Had some stuff.
It's usually 8, right?
Actually, for Smash 4, it's 6 minutes.
It's 6, okay.
Yeah, but the problem is, the shorter you make the time, it actually encourages turtling. Because now you don't have to turtle as long to win. You know what I mean? Whereas when you increase the time, it's like, I can turtle, but then I'll die eventually anyway, so I might as well attack. That's kind of interesting.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's the way that a lot of the Smash players describe it. But the other issue that's coming in now into play is customs.
Oh, yeah,
Custom special moves. So obviously, if you guys don't know, Smash 4 gives, for every special move that you have, for all 4 of the special moves, there's 3 variants.
Right.
And so people are now starting to discuss whether these should be tournament legal or not.
Right. If you found them on your DS, you can import them to the Wii U, right?
Yeah.
Look, the crappy thing, is that the way that you get them is the stupidest way they could have possibly done it. It really is.
Yes.
It's just so bad.
Yes.
It's such a bad system. You have to go through this stupid one-player mode, and it's random chance that you'll find stuff, especially on the Wii U.
Repeat ones. You can get repeat. It's just
customs. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
So some of them are really fun because I when the 3DS one came out, I used that little exploit, the little home button, to find a lot of them. They're really fun. There's some really fun ones, and they really change up some of the characters, and you could tell that they at least put some thought into whether they're balanced and and that sort of stuff. So it would be really interesting and fun to have that option. But it's just it's so onerous to get stuff. You can't expect everybody to have everything. It's not like any other normal fighting game situation where you can just, okay, I haven't played against this character much, let's go into training mode. Here it is. It's not like that.
Right. Not to mention that Smash training mode is just woefully inadequate.
Oh, that's garbage.
Overall.
No, you're definitely right. But it's a really badly done system. So I wish that it had been done better, because if it were done better, then I think it would be really interesting. But the way that you like put the custom moves onto the custom character is really onerous. It's just not easy to do. So if you were to do that in tournament, you're talking about quite a bit more time, I think.
Well, so here's a couple of things that I've heard, right? One, apparently some customs would be banned outright, because there's a few of them that are apparently just too good, right? Okay. So there's some that are already known to be too good, but we don't know how many of them are too good, right? Okay. Another thing is that a lot of people have talked about common sets. So for the custom moves, in general, most people have settled on like 3 or 4 or 5 particular variations that are good.
Yeah, okay.
So what they could do is create a save with those sets already in place, and those are the only ones that you can use, so that when you're at an event, you don't have to set up the custom sets. In general, the players kind of know which ones complement each other well and stuff like that, right? And then the most interesting thing to me is that 2 players who are pretty avid Smash 4 players, Nakat and Nairo, I've heard them both kind of voice that they prefer not to have customs right now. At least not until after EVO.
Oh, really? Okay.
So or at least have EVO not do customs. Like try customs at weekly, gain a lot of data, figure out more stuff, and get. But for EVO, leave it alone right now for no customs. Okay. Because that way they can practice it and play that way. Because EVO's obviously a really big tournament, right? Yeah. So after EVO's done, then they can really start pushing it in there and stuff like that. Okay. If it works out. So.
And I suppose that makes sense. It's the kind of thing that you have to give people time for. Yeah. You can't have all the custom moves immediately. It's just not how it works.
So someone says Nakat was for it. I kind of remember seeing him tweet that he was kind of a little hesitant. Okay. But apparently Zero wasn't for it, so... Okay. Well, someone else says that Nakat wasn't for customs, so there you go. So. Okay. Chat's leading me astray.
Well,
No, I was kidding.
Anyway, some of the moves are really fun and interesting. I just feel like that's really difficult to do in practice, to have them in tournaments in practice, in reality.
Yeah, but the interesting thing about a lot of people were working with Wizard, because Wizard was like, I don't think we could do this because it requires online, it requires all these weird, can you transfer it to save? And apparently people have ironed it out that if they do have the save set, then it would be easy to get it to all the machines. You don't need to be online or anything like that. Okay. So it would work. But
okay, well,
I mean, I'm the guy sitting here saying that MK, not MKX, you should be able to change your style depending on character. Yeah. I would love to see custom.
Look, I totally agree with you. Yeah.
So I would love to see it, but I totally understand if people are like, wait until after EVO. Because EVO, a lot of people want to win. Like I know like guys like Leffen have been talking about it a lot already, because obviously he didn't win Apex, so he's like coming for EVO now.
Wait, in Melee?
In Melee, yeah, in Melee. So, but I'm just saying, like, the Smash community treats EVO very, very seriously.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Is that it? Anything else to talk about?
For Smash 4, so now we can go and talk about the extremely detailed stuff. Unless you just want to call it a night.
I don't remember what stuff was. Was that anything?
No, stuff was this week's version of miscellaneous and whatnot.
I mean, I'm down for a few minutes of questions or whatever.
you want to just do that then?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, cool. Hey, so if we'll just do a little bit of questions.
Yeah.
Tweet some questions at UltraChenTV. This is always a fun thing to do. So I guess we'll take a break so that people will have a chance to send us some questions. Again, at UltraChenTV on Twitter. Ask us questions about all sorts of nonsense and such, and we'll answer ones that we deem appropriate, even though we do not screen them ahead of time usually. So we'll be right back.
Okay.